Motivation comes and goes. Discipline shows up every single day. Stop waiting to feel ready. Discipline is what gets the work done. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. When motivation fades, discipline takes control. Discipline is choosing progress, even when you don't feel like it. Success isn't built on motivation, it's built on discipline. Waiting for motivation keeps you stuck. Discipline moves you forward. You don't need motivation to start. You need discipline to finish. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even on the hard days. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline completes it. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It cares about results. Motivation asks how you feel. Discipline asks what must be done. On the days you feel tired, discipline is your greatest weapon. Motivation fades fast. Discipline builds habits that last. If you only work when motivated, you'll never reach your potential. Discipline is doing the work, especially when motivation is gone. You keep waiting for the perfect moment to feel inspired, but that moment rarely comes. Progress is made in the quiet decisions you take every day, not in bursts of excitement. Real growth begins when you choose consistency over comfort. Even on the days when energy is low and doubt is loud, showing up matters more than how you feel. Stop chasing motivation and start building the habit of steady action. That is where real strength is formed. There will be mornings when enthusiasm is nowhere to be found. In those moments, character is revealed by your willingness to continue anyway. Success is shaped by the routines you protect and the promises you keep to yourself. Each small effort compounds into something powerful over time. Instead of waiting to feel ready, move forward with purpose. A disciplined life turns ordinary days into extraordinary results. Feelings change quickly, but commitment creates direction. The people who move ahead are not always the most inspired. They are the most consistent. Step by step, they act with intention, trusting the process more than their emotions. When distractions appear and excuses whisper, focus on the task in front of you. Quiet persistence builds a foundation that motivation alone can never sustain. You don't need a sudden burst of inspiration to change your life. What you need is the willingness to act when it's uncomfortable. Progress is built in moments when no one is watching and nothing feels exciting. Those quiet choices, repeated daily, shape a future most people only dream about. Waiting for motivation is easy. Taking action without it is rare. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. One group moves forward regardless of mood. They understand that consistency beats intensity every time. Some days will feel heavy. Focus will feel distant. That's normal. What matters is not how energized you feel, but whether you honor your commitment to move forward. Small actions done with intention carry more power than big plans left untouched. Growth happens when you stop negotiating with excuses. When you decide that progress is no longer optional. Each step taken without excitement strengthens your mindset. Over time, that strength becomes confidence, and confidence turns effort into momentum. The truth is, discipline doesn't feel dramatic. It feels repetitive, quiet, and sometimes boring. But it works. While others wait for the right mood, disciplined people build results. And those results speak louder than motivation ever could. Most people wait for a spark before they begin. But progress favors those who start without it. Action creates clarity. The moment you take the first step, resistance begins to fade. What once felt difficult becomes familiar, and what felt impossible starts to look achievable. There is a quiet power in keeping promises to yourself. Each time you follow through, you strengthen trust in your own ability. That trust becomes a foundation you can rely on when challenges appear. Over time, steady effort turns uncertainty into confidence. You will not always feel prepared, and that is perfectly fine. Readiness is often a result of movement, not a requirement for it. By choosing to act despite hesitation, you train your mind to value progress over comfort. The path to improvement is rarely dramatic. It is shaped by ordinary days and repeated effort. While others search for excitement, focused individuals build routines that carry them forward. Those routines become the engine behind lasting change. In the end, success is less about sudden breakthroughs and more about daily commitment. When you learn to work with patience and intention, you discover that consistency quietly outperforms bursts of enthusiasm. Every meaningful change begins with a simple decision to continue. Not once, but repeatedly. The effort you invest today may seem small, yet it carries weight when multiplied by time. Patience turns modest actions into significant results. There will be moments when progress feels invisible. In those moments, remember that growth often happens beneath the surface. Roots form long before anything rises into view. Staying committed during these quiet phases prepares you for visible breakthroughs. Your journey is shaped by what you choose to repeat. Each focused effort reinforces a pattern that becomes easier to follow. Over time, these patterns define your direction and determine how far you can go. It is tempting to measure success by speed, But lasting achievement is built on endurance. Those who keep moving, even at a steady pace, eventually surpass those who sprint and stop. Persistence creates an advantage that cannot be rushed. In the end, fulfillment comes from knowing you honored your effort. By choosing steady action over hesitation, you give yourself the chance to reach heights that once seemed distant. And that quiet determination becomes your greatest ally. Discipline is not about forcing yourself every moment. It is about removing the debate. When the decision is already made, action becomes simpler. You stop asking whether you should begin and focus instead on how to move forward. Clarity often arrives after movement, not before it. Waiting to feel certain only delays progress. By taking consistent steps, you allow direction to reveal itself naturally. Momentum grows when hesitation is no longer in control. There is strength in structure. A clear routine protects your focus when distractions compete for attention. Instead of relying on willpower, you rely on systems that guide you forward even on uncertain days. What feels difficult at first slowly becomes part of who you are. Effort turns into habit, and habit turns into identity. Eventually, showing up is no longer a challenge. It is simply what you do. Most breakthroughs look ordinary while they are happening. They are built quietly through repetition and patience. When results finally appear, they seem sudden, but they are the product of long-term commitment. Sometimes life feels like a long, silent road with no clear end in sight. But every step you take, no matter how small, is shaping the person you are becoming. Growth is often quiet and invisible. Keep moving forward. Progress is still progress, even when it's slow. Life doesn't always give you what you ask for, but it always gives you what you need to grow. Pain builds strength. Failure teaches wisdom. And hope gives you the courage to try again. As long as you rise after falling, you are never truly defeated. There will be days when the weight of the world rests heavily on your shoulders. Yet somehow you continue. Remember this: you have survived moments you once thought would break you. Your strength reveals itself in the moments you choose not to give up. Do not measure your journey against someone else's timeline. Everyone blooms in their own season. Focus on becoming a little better than you were yesterday. Great transformations are born from small decisions repeated every single day. In the end, life is not about how fast you arrive, but about your willingness to keep going when you feel tired. As long as you breathe, there is another chance waiting for you. And as long as you believe in yourself, there is no limit to how far you can go.